What's up? Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. It's a Friday afternoon, or shall we call it a Friday? My name is Erica, and I host a show called Drive Mumbai on 94.3 Radio 1. It's going to be a super exciting afternoon of chat. I'm going to bring on a guy who is responsible for, I think, transforming a lot of us during the lockdown. Mansukhani. He's a guy who heads Fight the Sunrise, and it's been creating a lot of buzz in the fitness circuit. I've been meaning to talk to him because, yes, I don't know about you, but I've been fattening my curve, not flattening it. Oh,
Hello.
hello. Hi, Avinash. I've just been waxing eloquent, shall I say, about you because I've been hearing so much about you. The buzz is pretty crazy in the fitness world. I was
Right.
just sharing with our listener that I'm somebody through the lockdown who, I don't know about flattening the curve, I fattened my curves. And I'm
Yeah.
quite sure that you would have heard many stories like mine. You know, we're coming out of the pandemic with our pandemic ponches, you know, all of that. So you are just the person that we need to talk to. So, firstly, hello, and thanks so much for joining us this afternoon.
Anytime. Super happy to be here.
Yeah, so, we've been hearing great stories about you. Like I said, you're somebody who has kickstarted the project called Fight the Sunrise. It's doing brilliantly well. But you
Right.
yourself has a very, very interesting story to share. So I'm going to ask you to quickly give us your backstory, which has, a wonderful story of transformation in itself.
Right. So, I was one of those kids in school, was quite overweight, right? Was one of the biggest in my class, was touching at about 85, 90 kilos. Obviously, I was in a boys' school called Campion.
Uh,
Um, and you know how boys' schools are, right? So,
and I know how Campion is as well. Yeah.
like,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yes, peer
so
pressure
yeah.
and all of that.
Yeah, so that was the scene in school. Was always overweight. And then, of course, after school, you're hitting junior college, where suddenly there are going to be girls and all that stuff, right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
I need to. So between school and junior college, there's about a 4 month gap, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and what I decided to do is, I was like, listen, I need to get fit or whatever for
Yeah.
college. So I didn't know any better. There was nothing about health education or awareness or anything in the country, right? I'm talking about like early 2000s.
Right.
So I went to the gym for 3, 4 hours, just did only cardio, starved myself, and I lost all the weight. I lost about 20 to 20, no, 25 kilos, right, between
Right.
those 4 months. But I did it really
Right.
badly. Uh, Went into college. Obviously, college when life took over. You're drinking, you're going out, you're doing all that stuff. You're eating
Yeah.
shit food, um, and
Yeah.
I, I was very studious. So and I used to top school. I ended up topping junior college, and then obviously the stereotypical thought was do engineering, right? I never
Yep.
wanted to do engineering, but
Yeah.
I had the marks to do engineering. So thought process was right.
Right.
You're doing well. Let's go do engineering. So I
Okay.
reached engineering. Engineering also, food is all over the place.
Yeah.
Your hours are ridiculous. You're studying throughout the year. I reached a
Yeah.
point where I really wanted to kind of quit engineering, and in that
Hmm.
first semester, I just wasn't enjoying it.
Yeah.
But then I ended up topping that semester unfortunately. Uh, so my parents were like, "Dude, how can you quit and all?" I wanted to move into BMM, BMS, so I was like, "Okay, I'll finish engineering." Engineering life takes over. Again, food is not good. Hours are you're studying all nighters,
Yeah.
those books that big. Finished
Yeah.
engineering, moved into the tech space, right? So
Right.
I got picked by an MNC, Accenture, was working for them at one of their first offsite projects. So I
Okay.
live in Cuff Parade, and my office was in Malad, right?
Yes.
So
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
I was doing 2.5 hours each way. At that time, there's no ceiling. So take a
Right.
slow, switch, take a fast train, switch, take a slow train from Andheri to Malad, and then from there I was off-site about 40 minutes from the station. I
Oh
was
my
doing.
God.
By the time I'd leave the house and I'd come back,
Yeah.
I was leaving my house at 8 in the morning. I was coming back at 11 at night. So
Yeah.
obviously no workout or whatever.
Yep.
Health started taking a toll. Started taking a toll. Put on. And by that time, already put on maybe half of the weight. I put on the rest of the weight. Right.
Right.
Uh, Reached a point. I'm actually telling you both my journeys, career and
Yeah.
body wise,
Yep.
simultaneously,
Yep.
because
Hmm.
kind of fit in together to where I'm.
It does. It does.
So I reached a point at Accenture. I gave it about 2.5 years, and again, I was very creatively driven. I remember
Yeah.
all my business friends used to come to me and be like, "I'm doing this project. Can you give me a logo? Or can you give me a brand name or something like that?" Right?
Right.
Uh,
Right.
I wanted to find that middle ground of creativity and tech, which was my background, right?
Yeah.
So I started my own tech company with a school friend of mine. We launched at that time. We started doing websites and web solutions. So
Right.
we built Veerdas's website,
Ah,
Veerdas
okay.
Coffee, which was
Right.
out
Of
there
course. Yeah.
on a couch and you could click something and something comes up and he says something and like fun stuff. So I wanted that
Yeah.
creativity to really tech,
Yeah.
and that was the theme. So that went
Yep.
really well. Uh, I managed to kind of sell that company. We hired by an advertising agency.
Hmm.
The advertising agency took my team on, and I then was heading the digital arm of the advertising
Right.
agency. Now, advertising hours are worse than everything else, right?
Yep.
So, 18 hours a day, full nighters, pitches coming, you're pitching to a GSK or Nestle or this, there's no sleep, right? You have to
Yeah.
manage all the digital stuff. I was handling these executions
Yeah.
pan India. So again, health decline. Reached a point where I was really in a bad space, both mentally because you're working so hard and stuff like that,
Yep.
and physically uh, because I'd lost all that weight. I knew what I used to be able to do, and now I couldn't do anything. Right.
Correct.
So I took a conscious decision. I remember when I was 28, I was like, okay, by 30, I want to get to where I want to get that six pack or I want to get fit. I want to start working towards that. And this time I had learned my lessons. I didn't want to do it
Yeah.
the back.
Yep.
So I started studying,
Right.
studied nutrition, studied about different genres of fitness, experimented with different diets, experimented with different genres of, did CrossFit, did normal bodybuilding, did a whole lot of intensive boot camps, did HIIT, did everything under the sun, right? Group fitness,
Yeah.
everything. Uh,
Mm.
Started learning. Within 6 months, I got that six pack, right? So I'd lost my weight again,
Yeah.
the right way this time.
Okay.
So this was the scene now, and thought I got a good grasp of fitness because I did
Right.
all this without ever giving up on chocolate or the foods I ate or
Really?
alcohol. Right? I love my partying, I love my sugar, I love my this, but I understood energy systems, how you can use
Right.
different energy to work your body, where the advantages lie, where the disadvantages lie, how you can manipulate that and still get the output you want in
Okay.
smaller. Of course, it's a way more gradual progress, but it's
Sure.
a taste, right?
Yeah.
So once I did this, I started blogging a bit about this, that this is how I've done it, blah, blah, blah,
Yep.
blah. Um, and a company was launching a fitness tech app in India.
Hmm.
They're a Singapore-based company, so they wanted to do a launch in India. So
Okay.
got message on Instagram saying, "We're doing a shoot. Would you want to come model for the shoot?" Uh,
Right.
yeah, sure. Why the hell not? Right?
Uh-huh.
What do I have to lose? So
Yeah.
while the shoot is going on, some other model was modeling. I was talking to the VP from Singapore and the launch manager, and I was telling them, "Oh, this is what the fitness scene is in India. These are
Yeah.
the studios you kind of target. This is what your cost per click should be. This is where you should put your money online, offline, because that's what I've been doing all my life,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
Big conversation, just happenstance, etc., etc. Went
And
home to work. They called me a month and a half later saying, "Listen, do you want to be general manager for the company?" So tech and strategy in the fitness field,
yeah.
what, right? Like right down
Right.
my, it's just falling
Right.
to my. So I quit my advertising job, jumped into this, was growing this business. While I was growing this business, that company, Singapore-based company, got acquired by an even bigger company, last year's first unicorn,
Okay.
which was stars, right? So they hired me. I then graduated onto the new team, and I became country manager for them, and I was helping them set up all this stuff.
Right.
So
Okay.
much getting deep into the health and fitness market in India, what's working, what's not working. I
Yeah.
understand that we all have an intent to get fit, but maybe we're not educated enough to make the right steps.
Yeah.
How the Indian lifestyle is so different from the global lifestyle, right?
Right.
Uh,
Right. Right.
while all this was happening, I was setting them up. I also decided to help my friends. So I took a couple of friends from different genres of life. I remember I took a male and female who were overweight, a male and female who were skinny fat, and a male and female who were in the middle, right? And I gave them programs and worked with them through diet and nutrition and make them reach their goals.
Yeah.
So the overweight people lose weight, get at least like cuts and stuff coming, got the skinny fat people into the six packs that they wanted, and help the
Yeah.
intermediate people get that more chiseled shape that they wanted. Uh, so did that on the side, realized I had come across something in the terms of the way I made them work, because again, I didn't make them give up anything. I just took them
Right.
through that step by step, right?
Yeah.
And got them little small steps. Okay, now we'll increase
Right.
intensity. Now use your input by this much so that your output increases by this much. Like very scientifically based, very measured. So that happened professionally. While this was happening, I was working at the
Mm.
company. Just reached a tipping point where I was like, because this was such a big company, it was unicorn
Yeah.
status. Yes, I was in the
Right.
fitness industry, but I was just doing customer acquisition and basically running a tech company rather than a fitness company for them, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I reached that point in November 2019 where I'm like, okay, money is great, job security is great, but I'm not enjoying this. I want to do this for me. I want to get into the fitness field full on, right?
Okay. Okay.
Notice period, didn't tell my parents, didn't tell anyone. Suddenly one day sitting at home and my dad was like, why aren't you going to work? I was like, oh, I quit my job. And I was like, to do. I'm like, I'm becoming a fitness consultant. And they're both just looking at me like, what are you doing? Like, what's wrong with you? You have like a family business or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
make your career, make your company or whatever.
Right. Right.
I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. And I was like, I know you're not going to tell me blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
but give me
Yeah.
a year, right? Give me a year to a year and a half. If I can hit some milestones that I think are achievable, then what
Correct.
do I have to lose? And if it doesn't work out, I have my degree, I have good enough contacts in the industry I
Yeah.
made over 12 years to
Yeah.
go back
Yeah.
in advertising or tech or whatever, right? So
Yeah.
have that flexibility. I have saved enough myself to give myself this 1 year of leeway. So I'm like,
Yeah.
this is what I do. Just leave me to it for a certain amount of time. Let me do it. So
Yeah.
super happy. After that, pandemic hits. And yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
this was November 2019 is when I started, and then by Feb we were
Right.
facing a lot. So yeah,
Right.
that's the journey of
Yeah.
how got into the starting of FTS.
Right. Why fight the sunrise? What's with that title? Why fight the sunrise?
Okay, so this is actually I do get this a lot.
Yeah.
So while I was doing my engineering and my advertising and all, I love partying. Okay,
Yeah.
I used to do events as a side hustle once in a month at clubs, right? So I used to
Okay.
promote, and like I have a good network of people in Bombay, South Bombay, who used to always say, "Bro, what are you doing tonight? Let's go somewhere." So I'd be like, "Yeah, okay, let's do this stuff," and I knew
Yeah.
people get entry and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that so much. I love like one night out that I was like, okay, since I love the thing, why not make money while doing this thing? So I
Uh-huh.
started promoting events. And as an event company for nights out, what what's a good name to like have a hard night out?
Yeah, fight the sunrise.
So Fight came about there. It was actually a song that I heard which I loved. Then the
Yeah,
name kind of stuck, and I'm like, wow, this just fits with what I want to do.
yeah.
So that's how Fight the Sunrise kind of stuck. And because it was my Instagram,
Nice.
it stuck
Yeah,
on. The thing is, when I made this transition into
yeah,
fitness,
yeah,
my name had idol already kind of stuck. Like everyone used to say FTS or 5%, like right now.
yeah, yeah. Yes, we get that. Yeah,
That kind of stuck. So I'd applied
yeah,
for a trade and done all that
yeah.
stuff, which actually
Okay.
just came 4 days back.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
I didn't want to let go of that name. I know it
yeah,
gets a little confusing because everyone's like, dude, do you mean workout in the morning? And I am myself the most nocturnal person ever. Uh,
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's just a different way, it's a
Uh-huh.
lifestyle. And there's a lot of different aspects that come into it: fitness, health, mental health, enjoy your life,
Yeah,
go with
yeah,
your friends. That's what I just want to grow that company under that
yeah,
umbrella.
yeah.
That's what we came across, which is quite
Okay,
positive.
we got a couple of people jumping on. Cutting Chai says, "Why do all success stories, I'm sorry, start with quitting your job?" I
Yeah.
mean, Cutting Chai, honestly, I mean, you know, that's one way to do it because clearly you have to stop somewhere to start again. I think, it's a process of renew, and I don't know why I'm answering the question. It's for you to answer. Sorry.
So there are two aspects of this. One is, of course, there is successful people in a certain field of their job, right? Which are
Yeah,
also stories. They love the common factor whether a person is successful with their job or doing it on their own is loving what you do, right?
yeah,
Uh, and I'm telling you, it's so funny that, hey, while doing my engineering, while doing my starting my company, while doing my advertising agency, I was successful. I
yeah.
won was an FEs under advertising. I won a tech award under Accenture. I was successful in
But
the
were you
term of
happy?
exactly. I was good at what I
Yeah.
did and happy, right? So
Uh,
but you're putting the hours to someone else, and you may be good at it. But when you find that thing that you're passionate about, like I work 14, 16 hours and I don't care. I love it, right? And
right,
that's going to be to the next level. So
right.
at the end, I think uh, it's not why are all successful people, why do they quit their job? I think all successful people are that because they're happy with what they're doing. I think that makes a
Yeah.
big
I hope that answers your question, Cutting Chai. Jay Shah wants to know, what is skinny fat? I want to know as well, what is skinny fat? It sounds like a cappuccino or some kind of blend you get at the coffee shop. What is skinny fat?
It's the new FPS copy. I'm kidding. So skinny fat is basically a person who has a very lean frame,
Yeah.
like look thin, but there's still a lot of fat pouches accumulated, right?
Uh-huh.
So a lot of people are that way. Hey, if you look at them, you'll be like, hey, he's thin or he's skinny or he's fit. But actually, he's not fit at all. There's no muscular definition. There's no.
Yeah. So he's probably skinny outside, but he's fat on the inside, unlike me, which I'm fat on the outside, but I'm actually skinny on the inside.
I totally
Yeah,
believe that.
my skinny self struggling to emerge. But what is this thing though? I mean, we're all chasing the skinny dream, aren't we? We
Right.
all sort of um,
So
should we
uh,
be doing that?
So it's not about you shouldn't be chasing a skinny dream. In terms of, I don't believe in skinny. Like you know, I tell all my clients, it's not about the weight. It's about getting to a body goal. So a lot of what I do is body recomposition, right?
Yeah,
Where it's getting to a place where you're completely comfortable with your body and you
yeah,
love what way you feel, right? So for skinny people, it may be building extra bit of muscle and looking a bit bigger. I'm not talking
yeah,
about aesthetics, it's getting a little bigger because believe me, you may be average looking in terms
yeah,
of weight wise, you may be your ideal body weight,
yeah.
but your eating and all may not make you feel amazing, right?
Right. Yeah.
Uh, the food that you're eating, the input that's making that change may be in very varied proportions, right?
Yeah.
Let me give you an example. People who are super ripped. Okay,
Yeah.
I've gone down to that body fat percentage. I wanted to experiment. I was going for Tomorrowland. I wanted to look ripped, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so down to that, it's not a sustainable lifestyle. Definitely
Right.
not. Look amazing,
Definitely. I agree.
but
Yeah.
amazing. You feel like it's ridiculous. You have no energy. You're super lethargic. There's no like drive to do anything, and so you want to reach that spot where you're well fueled.
Yeah.
And of course, you build fitness along with that because we all know how important getting your cardiovascular system right now is
Right.
uh, into a certain point, right? Where you can
Yeah.
handle get immunity to a certain point, so you can handle these different things that are coming at you from
Yep.
today. It's coronavirus, tomorrow God knows what, right? So
Correct. Correct. Yep.
your health needs to be up there. So it's very funny. I know I say I'm a body recomposition specialist, and when I ask people when clients come on board, I'll ask them what is your goal
Mm.
body type. But to reach that goal body type, there has to be certain differences in your healthy lifestyle. So I may not subconsciously they're becoming way healthier and fitter, right? Even if they want to attain a six pack or even the four pack or whatever, you can't do
Yeah.
that unless you're well fueled, right? If you're
Right.
under, it's not going to work.
Yeah. So are you trying to tell me, because you said that, you didn't, you don't recommend giving up, like, food types or certain groups of food. You can attain your healthy weight, by your certain programs that you design. So tomorrow, if I want to sort of achieve that bikini body, I can still have my ice cream and my chocolates. No, I can't.
Of course you can. So,
I can.
of course. So, obviously, in not in quantities that you're currently having.
Right, right. So what we're also doing at home, and this is just personal, is that we've decided to do away with all the rice and the flour, the maida and stuff, and instead we've been using sort of the other grains like jawar and bajra and stuff, so millet and sorghum and stuff. Is that
Let,
advisable?
let me ask you a question. Um,
Yeah,
do you know any bodybuilder, athlete, or professional sports person? Have you
I
ever
know a few.
seen,
Yes, yeah.
have you ever seen them eat?
They eat lots, a lot, but they're also burning like incredible amounts, which I don't get the time to. I'm kind of living that lifestyle that you sort of gave up, right? Because I'm in the industry. I know what it's like.
Uh, at the end of the day, a lot of fat loss comes down to calories in versus calories out, right? Your
Uh-huh.
input in
Okay.
the body versus energy expenditure. Now, let me give you an example. Suppose let's take rice versus quinoa. Okay,
Hmm.
quinoa is the healthier option that's out there, which has more nutrients. But a
Right.
bowl of quinoa is 1.5 times the calories of white rice. And because
Oh.
you're eating quinoa, you think you're eating healthier, you take another spoon. So yes,
Uh-huh.
you're healthier option, but you're over consuming calories, which is not really good. That you shouldn't be.
Right. Nobody told me
It,
this.
it comes to ragi, jawar, nachni. So I'll be doing an induction with my client, and they'll be like, "Bro, I eat healthy." So I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah.
what are you eating?" I eat jawar roti, I eat nachni roti. I'm like, "Amazing. How many are you eating?" Three jawar rotis with my chicken, and I'm like, dude, if you eat one wheat roti or a whole grain roti or whatever,
Yeah.
was one ragi roti or jawar roti, yes, you're eating healthy. But if you're going to over consume because you think you're eating a healthier option, that's not
Right.
healthy. And anything
Right.
in excess is unhealthy. And a lot of people are making this mistake where they're
Yeah.
looking at the healthier option, over consuming them, and then obviously going to put on weight or stay where they are,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You have to be
So,
calorie aware as well as nutrient aware.
okay.
Get balance, which is basically what I teach people in my induction. So I'll be like, hey, if these are the choices in front of you, what would you have? And then tell me. And I'll be like, okay, no, this is a lot, right? If
Yeah.
you're going to be eating uh, just one katori, then maybe it can work better. But if you want to be eating more, eat rice because that's going to keep you fuller and you're going to be less in calories, which is going to get you to your goal of
To your
calorie,
goal. Right.
which is
Yeah.
and uh, if you like what I was coming to, every bodybuilder, every athlete eats white rice. There's nothing wrong with white rice. It's a meal format, white rice, broccoli, chicken, right? I've lost
Uh-huh.
all my weight eating white rice. So, uh,
Right.
it's complicated. Before getting your micronutrients on point, first get your macronutrients on point. Both are carbs, get your carbs in proportion. Once you
Yeah.
reach a certain position, then go on to the next level of types of carbs and stuff like that, right? And
Right.
another problem that's happening is people are only consuming complex carbs because they think
Uh-huh.
complex carbs are healthier. But your
Right.
body needs a certain amount of simple carb because it does need simple energy also. It can't be
Right.
working hard all the time to extract energy from a complex carb. So little
Right.
amount of
Right.
sugar is very important for your body. You're meant to be
Uh-huh.
consuming 20 to 40 grams of simple carbs as well, right? Because
Right.
otherwise, why will the body function? You will just feel lethargic because your body has to work so much to break down the complex carbs.
Yeah. So,
So these are the
alcohol is simple carbs?
alcohol is useless calories. There are no nutrients in it
Right.
unless beer, right? Beer has some carbs, but most of alcohol is useless calorie. So, I mean, when it comes to alcohol, look, we aren't athletes. The general population aren't athletes or aren't uh, physique kind of competitors, right? We
Yeah.
don't need to be ripped 24/7. We don't have to be so strict with our lives, which is why I allow a person to have alcohol. I'm like, hey, drink your alcohol once a week. Uh, the calories, even though they're useless, are really low, right? 60 to 65 calories a small, 120 a beer or wine. While you're drinking, you're out, you're talking, you're moving, you're being engaged, you're dancing at a sangeet or whatever, you've burnt that stuff. I don't care about the calorie balance when it comes to alcohol. Where people
Yeah.
normally go wrong is what they consume with it, right?
Right.
Aerated drinks, Red Bull with your Jaegers, sugar-laden cocktails, then that 65 calorie drink becomes a 250 calorie drink.
Yeah.
That's going to, right? After you drink 700 calories of alcohol, you go and have 1,000 calorie pizza, or you have a butter chicken,
Yeah. Yeah.
or you eat food while you're popping, you're drinking your beer. That's
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
limit or make wise choices and limit how much you're having, and you'll be fine, right? Enjoy your life. You
Right.
can't not you can have fun and not party, right? So limit that
Absolutely.
and try. And I tell people to keep it to less frequent, maybe once a week, because alcohol does like kind of play with your REM while you sleep. And actually, when you're sleeping, that your body recovers, burns fat and builds muscle while you're sleeping because the rest of the
Yeah.
day you're fit, right? So all your
Yeah.
recovery
Yeah.
happens, and alcohol kind of
Messes
completely
it.
annihilates that, right? So keep it to a minimum. The rest of the days, make sure your metabolism on point, make sure your workouts on, make sure your recovery happens. So
Right.
basically, the compromise I give my clients is, hey, I'm not stopping you from drinking, but uh, I'm going to stop your midweek drinking, right? So
Right.
quantity, frequency. Go enjoy it once in a while, have fun. You should enjoy this process. That's why
I
when it
think
comes,
so.
yeah, when it comes to food, I don't have restrictions. I'll be like, stay within limits. The thing about nutrition is, I believe nutrition should be all inclusive, right? You should be able to eat everything at certain amounts at times. You shouldn't be able to feel guilty about eating something or feel guilty about eating something at a particular time. Because the
Mm.
moment you put like conditions of exclusion, whether it's timing or types of food or anything, right? Then you're developing a bad relationship with food right there.
Yeah.
The moment I tell you don't eat rice, eat only red rice, eat only brown rice, or don't eat wheat, eat only jawar, that's giving you a bad relationship with food. You should be able. Are
Yeah.
you telling me when you travel to wherever Europe and you're eating in
Yeah.
a restaurant, some of black rice or brown rice, they'll be telling you like
Yeah.
what's going on, bro? Right?
So here's the thing.
So
I have a great relationship with food. I'm in love with carbs. So for me, it's always been the struggle. Sweets. I love sweets. I'm such a dessert person. If I go to a restaurant, I always flip the menu backwards. I always check what's on the dessert first, and then I work
you,
my way backwards. Sorry?
you start with dessert.
I would love to. I'd love to. I mean, that would be my meal. That'd be my ideal meal.
Yeah. So I have certain hacks to kind of play with that as well, right?
Oh,
They're
please
not
share them.
they're not the best way to deal with it. Of course, you're not getting the nutrition you would have got, but you're out, you're enjoying yourself, right? So why not? Uh, so at the end of the day, what is sugar? It's a carbohydrate,
Yeah.
right? It's a simpler carb where the chains are smaller versus a complex carb. So if you want to eat dessert, you know your source of carbs are going to be coming from sugar. Maybe compensate by eating less of your normal other carbs in that meal, right?
Right?
So if you're out for dinner and you know there's going to be dessert or you're going to be eating that tiramisu or
Yeah.
that chocolate, which you know
Yep.
is right? So what I do, I know I want to eat that stuff. It's one meal, right? Uh, in that meal, I'll probably eat a little less of the rice or a little less of the roti, and I'll make sure I get the carbs that my body needs from the sugar, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's not the greatest of nutrients, but it's better than overloading and having excess on both
Right.
because I have to eat that dessert, so might as well compensate somewhere.
Right. Okay.
That's the tricks I take my clients through, which is why it's been so sustainable. They're seeing the results, they're living a normal life, no restrictions. The only
Yeah.
thing I force them to do is put in the work, right? I can spoon feed you all the stuff, spoon feed you
Yep.
with your diet, not
Yep.
diet, diet, just
Yeah.
guidelines. I can spoon feed
Yeah.
you with everything, but that work has to come from you, right? So,
True
um,
that. True that. I have to say hello to Kalpesh, who's jumped on as well. And my gosh, I could have this conversation forever and a day. And I really would like to connect with you or reconnect with you offline as well as on the radio as well. And of course, maybe next month we'll have a little bit of a fitness session live as well.
yeah, sounds good.
So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for those who've jumped on and listen. What you're doing is it's actually commendable because I think you've given me some really interesting hacks to work with as well. I should be like flattening my curves, not fattening like I did in the lockdown. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Thanks once again for joining us.
And thank you for having me.
See ya.
See you.